There we go. All righty. Yep, forgot to do an audio test. Isn't that stupid? You know what? I need to do something here real quick. I've got some echo. Obviously, I wasn't prepared. Every week it's something. Okay. All right. How do I sound, everybody? Jesus. I tell you what, every week it's something. Last week I scheduled my live for 1 month in advance. I didn't realize it till about 30 seconds before I went live. And so I was 15 minutes late last week trying to fix that out. Anyway, all right. I think we're connected now. Hey, Rich, can you give me a little shout out there on how I'm sounding. Man, I got myself all flustered. You know what? I also trying to get it set up today. I told myself that today was going to be perfect. Thanks, Rich. I told myself today was going to be perfect. We were going to get started on the correct day, not a month later, and everything was going to be ready to go. I had my overlays and everything done. But no, I struggled on camera. So we'll shoot for next week. See if we can get it to 100%. And the other thing I've done is I have not taken my notes off of my iPhone that I was going to talk about today with Landstar. So now I'm going to have to try to remember everything. Because my phone is there, and it's not like I can reach it, take it off, and get my notes. So anyway, we're going to suffer through my Landstar review from my head, but I think everything will be fine in the end. I do want to talk about Landstar in case people are looking at this at a later date and are here for the Landstar information. So we'll talk about that first, and then I'm going to go ahead and take your questions if that's okay. Also, remember last week that I talked about a drawing, and I have picked 10 people, and so sometime during this live we will do that drawing. Jesus, I hope that turns out fine. All right. Let's see. Let's take a little bit of house cleaning here. Listen, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, and then just be patient with me, and I'll get to them as quick as I can. Okay. Also, we do have a website at Trucking Topics VIP. The last couple of days, especially since I uploaded the how much money I spent to start my trucking company video, I've gotten a lot of questions via email and in the comments, and you'll see those for people needing help starting their company or just general questions. So, of course, I'm happy to help you with that. I answer questions in the comments and on email. If it doesn't take too much of my time, if it's going to take more than about a quarter of an hour, you can go to Trucking Topics VIP, and I have some consultation times there. I think they're 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour consultations, and you have access to my calendar to plug in a time that's good for you. Also, there you can support the channel by becoming a VIP member, and there's 2 levels, and benefits are spelled out there for you. And we do have some members. That's fantastic. Anyway, before we get started, if you guys are new, if anybody here is new to the channel, and this is our first time meeting, if you love everything trucking, you're in the right place right now, is what I like to say. Please consider supporting the channel by subscribing It's simple. Just tap that button real quick. It helps the channel out quite a bit. And if you find this video helpful at all while you're here with us, whether it's 5 minutes or for the whole thing, can you give us that thumbs up? And by the way, when you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be reminded of future video uploads. Okay? All right. Hopefully Binks will make an appearance. I think he's hiding in here somewhere. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and put this back up just to remind you guys to go ahead and put your questions in the comments if you have any, okay? So let me talk about Landstar. This is a review, kind of like my story at Landstar. I've been driving since 2005. And it was 2017, the very end, December. I started the process in it feels like the end of September or the 1st of October, but probably the 1st of October, and it took me until the week of Christmas 2017 to actually get rolling with Landstar. And actually, I don't think I was rolling. I was just ready to go, and then I had to go to orientation, and I think I turned my first wheel I think it was either the 1st or the 2nd of January 2018. But so let me tell you how that process went, because for some reason I've been getting a lot of questions about Landstar recently. You'll see some of them in the comments of some of my videos, and then I've had some folks email me as well. By the way, the email address is truckingtopicstoday@gmail.com. If you guys have any questions, I do have I couldn't get it configured quickly enough, but I do have Tony at truckingtopicstoday.com. That will be the main email within a day or so, as soon as I can get that configured. I can send out from it, but I can't receive email for some reason. So anyway, so for right now, just use truckingtopicstoday@gmail.com. Okay, so Landstar, I'm going to go from the beginning, and then I'm just going to go to the end, and I'll try not to make this very long. So I did start the beginning of October 2017. I started the process, and so Landstar doesn't qualify you. They use an outside service to qualify you. So you're assigned a person at this outside service, and then they know what Landstar wants and whatever, and so you go through that process. Now that process for me was like 6 weeks. It was, or maybe even longer. It was a long process. The main stickler is they have to have some kind of verification from your prior employers, truck related, and this one employer was being a pain in my ass and wasn't wanting to give my verification, so I basically had to strong arm him a little bit, and so we finally got that done. But about 6-7 weeks, and then I remember it being very confusing trying to get the truck, get insurance, and coordinate that with getting on with Landstar, because I didn't want to get all of that stuff without having a place to go. And the place I wanted to go was Landstar. So once I got the okay from Landstar, then I already had the other items set up. Like, okay, we're going to get the truck here and the insurance, and that way I only lose like a couple of days with sitting around once I was qualified. I didn't want to start doing everything after I had already been qualified, because I would have lost a month, right? So at any rate, and I'm going to go through that on another video, my truck buying process and what I did, how I got the truck, what I did before and after I bought the truck, and so forth, because there's some questions on that as well. But so once I got the truck, the insurance and so forth, then actually I had to have those things before Landstar qualified me, right? Because I had to have the truck so that they could put it into their system. But I didn't want to acquire that stuff until I knew that those were like the last two things that I needed. So anyway, then came orientation. Now, they have a couple of big centers: Jacksonville, Fort Worth. I never got to Jacksonville. I think it's Jacksonville, but I did get to Fort Worth, and I had my choice of either going to Fort Worth for orientation. You do have to take your truck to orientation with you. Or Reno. And Reno was closer to me and I can get in there quicker, so I went to Reno. Yeah, don't go to Reno if you have a choice. Because I don't think I got the full orientation experience there. And I had seen that online somewhere as a comment, like you're better off going to the big centers, and you are. So when it's time to go to orientation, and you have a choice, and Reno's one of the choices, you probably want to go to Fort Worth or Jacksonville so you get a better experience. And I think they have one in Illinois too. I can't remember where, northern part of Illinois, Rockford maybe. Okay. Orientation was about 3 days. Basically, they just go over the Landstar system, safety stuff. That's where you get your ELD. I kind of got screwed on that because when I got there, they had just gotten rid of one system and they were bringing in another system, which was Keep Truckin' ELD. But in the meantime, they had these expensive OmniTracks, and that was the only thing you could do at the time. So I had to spend $850 on an OmniTracks unit that I still have. But it's a good unit. It's just I spent a whole hell of a lot of money on it, almost $1,000 on that thing. I had no choice. So you get your ELD there. You get your ELD installed while you're in orientation, and you have to pay for the installation. I think it's $150. You get your stickers. You put your stickers on in orientation. And and you can buy a lock set. They offer a really nice lock set. You have to purchase it. I think it was a couple $100. Kingpin lock, and I wonder if they had the airline lock. I can't remember. There was a couple of locks. Oh no, they had the locks that that you put on the brakes on the inside of the cab. You can put a device over the two knobs and keep access away from pushing in the knobs. Okay, and then so after orientation, and they did pay me some fuel because I had to take my truck from Las Vegas up to Reno, and then I had to deadhead back to Las Vegas. So they did give me some cash for fuel, so that was nice. I didn't ask for it. But then the next pain in the butt was waiting for a trailer, and this I think this is still a problem with them. I think I had to wait about a week, and as I understand it, I probably got off pretty easy waiting that week. I mean, you can't do anything until you get a trailer, and then you're at the mercy of the trailer department. I did have to bobtail to Phoenix, I believe, to get my trailer, and they paid me mileage. I mean, it was just enough to cover the fuel, but I mean, at least they did that. And then once that happens, then you get your first load. So, man, I'm telling you, so the reason I went to Landstar is because it's hands-on. Basically, like they say, that is about the closest you can get to being an owner-operator without having your own authority. So all of a sudden now, I've been driving since 2005. It's 2017, and all my loads have always been given to me. And I feel like I have a big itch. Anyway, so you get access to their load board, and the load board is just full of Landstar agents looking for you to take their load. So now you're going through the load board and you're looking at mileage and you're looking at rates and you're looking at when they, you're looking, you all know, we all do it, right? What makes us want to take a load? Well, so now you find a load and you call. And I got to tell you something, man. I was freaking nervous. I was like, oh, I don't want to call. I think I was physically shaking when I called them. And it's like, what are you doing? It's okay. It's no big deal. So I finally calmed myself down. And I called this agent and I said, hey, look, man, I'm just going to tell you right now that this is the first time I'm calling. I don't even know what I'm supposed to tell you because they didn't tell me that part. They just said, find a load and call. And then he says, okay, that's all right, man. What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. What's your truck number? We always need to know your truck number. And just tell us what load you're calling on. And so it was good, man. He walked me through it. He was good with me. So I got my first load and ran it, and that was exciting and so forth. But then I forgot to do my reload. So, when you've had a dispatcher, they've got you loaded, and if they're a good dispatcher, they're already looking for a reload before you drop, right? Well, yeah, I forgot that part. Kind of learning hard here, okay? So you get into the swing of dispatching yourself, which is probably the hardest thing at Landstar, okay? Because, man, you are everything. You're the driver. You're the dispatcher. You're the dude that schedules maintenance. You're the guy that does the accounting and pays yourself and pays taxes. They did have a lot of stuff on the back end that I don't have to worry about. For instance, I still had to pay IFTA, but they took care of all that and all the reporting. They did that for me. And permits, they charged me, but they took care of all of that. Plates, all of that. They just take care of it and charge you back. But it's the dispatching. And then here's the thing that really bothered me about that was I kept being told in my YouTube videos that I was looking at and at orientation and by other not YouTube, but other Landstar drivers and even a couple of Landstar drivers that I knew before I went over. Make relationships with your agent, and then you'll get on their good list, and you don't want to be on their naughty list. And then because these agents, they don't know you, they want to see how you run, and so they're going to give you like their shitty loads and whatever and see how you run and whatever, and then you just kind of work your way up. I didn't find that to be true. I never was late for a load. I never had any incidents with a load, and I was always very pleasant on the phone. Kind of like I am now, just every day, and and I would sell myself a little bit and say, hey man, look, I'm always early. I've never been late. Blah blah blah, and no, I don't know what it takes. I think really what it takes is luck to get on a particular agent's good list. He's got a driver that just had to cancel a load for whatever reason, and you just happen to call at that right time, and it's got to go. And the time is real tight, but you get it there on time, and then everything turns out right, and then all of a sudden you're on his good list. So I think the sense I got is that it takes a bit of luck, because I'm going to tell you, up until the day I left, I was with them for a year and 3 or 4 months before I got my own authority. I sold myself every time. I was reliable. And it never worked. So when you hear that, hey, make a relationship with the agents, well, I mean, good luck. It's gonna that's what it's gonna come down to basically. 'Cause they already have their favorites, and they have too many favorites and whatever. Now I did get a little bit lucky, and I got into well, it's only because I did it before I went to Landstar, and that was entertainment. So they do have one entertainment agent there that's out of Florida, and because I had done entertainment with the company that he gets the loads from, then I started running with him right away. So I did do entertainment for probably half my time at Landstar, I would say. The other half was, doing loads and so forth. Um, so Landstar's, I never had an issue with payment. My pay was always correct. My deductions were always correct, and there's a lot of deductions. I mean, they basically almost want to charge you for walking to your truck, I think, but that's a stretch. But no, you get charged for everything just as if you were an owner operator. So it's something you have to get used to if you want to move into having your own business. Um, but all of those little charges, I've not once did I have any issue with deductions or with my pay. Okay. So that was very positive. Also, their customer service is top notch, except for the fact that sometimes you have to wait on the phone a little bit to get a hold of them, especially if it's a Monday morning. They're dealing with stuff that happened over the weekend to some BCOs. And but they always helped me. There were some times I had some issues, mostly due to, which was a pain in the butt, inspections, because they want you to have your equipment inspected on a regular basis. Much more, by the way, than if you were an owner operator. So I think, oh man, you Landstar guys out there, you have to help me on this, because I can't remember if it was every 3 months or every 4 months that they want your tractor to have a DOT inspection, and then if you have a trailer, you have to have your trailer DOT inspected as well. So that was kind of a pain because normally you go to TAs or Petros, and more than half the time they couldn't squeeze you in. You'd be under a load, right? So they couldn't squeeze you in, or the DOT inspector wasn't there, or something. And I'm a procrastinator, so I always waited until the last couple of days. And of course, a couple of times I ran into some issues, so I had to call and get like a little extension or whatever. But anyway, so that was a little pain because I felt that every 3 or 4 months, I can't remember which one it is. I apologize. What was a little too much. I did decide to get my own trailer at some point. There's a guy that works with a lot of Landstar BCOs, so if either any of you are interested in that person's contact information, I can give it to you. But he works with basically just Landstar BCOs, and he will lease you or have you rent a trailer, and then it just, oh no, hold on. I was going to say it comes out of the settlement. I think it comes out of the settlement. I can't remember. But anyway, it was a really nice trailer. I decided to do that to get a little bit more, to make myself a little bit more available for loads. And just so mainly, though, whenever I got a Landstar trailer, or I wouldn't have to worry about getting another Landstar trailer that was not good to go, because the trailer fleet, the BCOs are supposed to get maintenance items repaired, right? Well, nobody has time. You get a load, you see something wrong with the trailer, and the load has to get there, and then sometimes you drop that trailer and pick up another trailer, or the BCO's just lazy, which was most of the case, by the way. They'd have time to do it, but they just wouldn't do it. So you'd pick up trailers that had issues and DOT issues, and you would be expected to take care of it, and that just happened. I'm gonna say 3/4 of the time I picked up a bad trailer. So I got tired of it, and I went in ahead and got my own trailer, and it was I'm sorry, I don't remember the price, but obviously it was good enough, and I still made money. And since we're talking about money, my first year it was a full year, 2018. I made over 200. I think I was close to 250. Was I that high? 225, something like that. But I had a hell of a learning curve. I could have made more. I tend to take a lot of time off, but and I think I did have some repairs and stuff. I don't remember. I was a little over 100 net, I think, for those 12 months. I know I was over 100. I just don't remember if it was a little or a lot. I'm going to say maybe 100 and a quarter. Maybe right around there is where I was at after fuel and all that, the happy dance stuff. So that's the money part of it. Yeah, I think it is 120 days. That rings a bell, Josh. So, Rich, the main reason I left is just because I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, where I just want to do things my way, I guess, if I'm going to be honest. And I wasn't that far away from being 100% open owner operator anyway. I mean, I was already paying everything. I'd still have to pay my $22.90. I just paid it. No, I had to do that on my own and then give Landstar the stamped copy. So I just decided, well, what's it going to cost me to be an owner operator? All it's going to cost me, because I was paying insurance through Landstar, of course, but it was going to be a lot more expensive. So I knew I was going to have to come out of pocket for insurance, and I knew I was going to have to come out of pocket for fuel, because their fuel card's fantastic, best in the industry, I think, well, that I know of. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I knew I was going to have to come out of pocket for insurance. I was going to have to come out of pocket for FMCSA registration to get my DOT number, and I knew I was going to have some regulatory things like the consortium and having to keep driver qualification files and maintenance files and all of that. But I decided that was worth me getting back the 35% that I was giving Landstar. So they do take a pretty hefty cut, but it's still worth it to work there, all right, to lease on there, because you're in charge of your own business. They're not in charge of your business at all. They do have a fairly heavy corporate structure, and they're going to keep an eye on you, and they're going to make sure that your 120-day inspections are done and so forth, and that you're doing with the things you need to be doing as a BCO. And like I said, their customer service is great. You get a lot of back office support. Their software is second to none. And they give you a lot of tools in that back office. Okay, so it's worth the 35%. However, for me, it wasn't worth 35% of $225,000. That's a lot of money. So it wasn't worth that to me for the little bit of extra expense I was going to have for keeping my own records, being compliant, and more insurance. So that's the main reason why I left. was I wanted to move on and do everything I could to make my business better. And but the 35% had a lot to do with it, and I just figured it was worth it to get that 35% in my pocket. And I'm not sorry that I did that. By the way, I think my several years of driving and then the Landstar experience really helped me quite a bit. So um, I was going somewhere with that before. We were talking about the money. Um, let's see. Um, Insurance. Okay, so really the only thing I had to do was come out of pocket with insurance, which was going to be 13,000 the first year. I just put down a couple thousand and I had payments on that, and then I applied, and so that's why I left Landstar. Um, but while I was there, it was fantastic company, and it continues to be. They have events like these BCO days or whatever, which is like a rah rah, um, keep you motivated kind of convention for BCOs. I went to one. I went to one in Fort Worth, and it was nice. You walk around with your plastic bag and you get all the swag, and you go home. Well, I still have that bag of swag somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I know I have it. I just saw it. And they keep you motivated. They give you prizes, and give you information. Once a year, they give away a truck. I got some money's worth out of that 35% that I gave them. I'm not sad about that. I think that was a good learning experience. Man, did I learn a lot that first year. Wow. So, I was ready to go when I got my own authority. I was basically, I knew how to do IFTA, because I was going to have to start doing that every quarter. I learned how to keep maintenance records. I learned how to, do a driver qualification file. I learned how to join a drug consortium, and it was kind of a piece of cake because I already had the dispatcher mentality in my head, like keep moving, like look two loads forward. Okay, like in 3 days I'm going to be in Atlanta or something. So what's happening over there? How can I get out of there, and so forth. But now, instead of just having Landstar in my pocket as a Landstar BCO, I had Uber Freight, I had Convoy, Amazon, CH Robinson. Who else was out there? And some others. But anyway, so Landstar, even in the end, the final settlement and everything, and no problems. There was a time at Landstar where I got my own plates. So I gave their plates back. So this happened actually before I got my authority. So I already had my plates when I got my authority. So that saved a little bit of time there. But that was a simple process. I think they had to change. So what I did is I changed my business structure. Yes. So I went from being a sole proprietor, Tony Vallejo, whatever, and then I changed to an LLC. And because I changed to an LLC, and that's when I changed my place, but because I changed my business structure to an LLC, they had to take me out of the system and put me back into the system, and I had a whole new truck number and everything. So let me see. Yeah, and that's when I got the plates. So, and that was an easy process. I think I was only down for 2 days. They got their stuff together. Landstar is a fantastic place to go to, especially if you're wanting to get your own authority someday. Man, they gave me a great start. So, like they say, that's the closest you can get to being on your own with your own authority. I'm sure there's other stuff I wanted to ask, or not ask, but talk about with Landstar, but I just can't think of it right now. So I tell you what, while something comes to my mind, let's take care of this drawing that we had, or this little contest, or whatever it was I want to call it. So last week, I offered a $25 Pilot Flying J gift card, or I decided later, like an Amazon gift card, because I know not everybody likes Pilot Flying J's, right? So you'll have your pick between either the Pilot Flying J or Amazon gift card. And how you qualified for the drawing was you needed to be a subscriber, and you needed to put a comment in the comments below on that live video last week. So I went through and I picked out 10 people, and we're going to try to do this. Boy, this is live here. All right, let me tell you who's in the drawing. We have I spelled her name wrong. It's supposed to be Cece Hill, and Brett, Capiau. I am not even going to try to destroy your name right now, buddy. Joe Smith, Vlade Kurbanov, Corbin, Sayi, TB, Trucking Fasho, Samuel, Gautier, King Leo, and Rich L. Really? I was going to put you in there, man. You left me a really nice comment. So let's figure this out. Again, this is something I didn't test. But hey, we're having fun. Okay, let's look at this camera here. Oh, nice. Look at that. That's going to be just fine. Let me get. I just need a little bit of a prop. There we go. Yeah, nice. All right. Let me make sure the volume is up. Hold on, just a sec. All right. All right. All right. Let's spin her. See what happens. Samuel. Samuel, if you are here or if you come back later, you got a week. You got a week to claim your prize. I mean, I just can't hold on to all these prizes, right, forever, guys, because all of a sudden you guys will start claiming them a year from now, and then I might be in a little bit of a pickle. So Samuel, Gautier, you want to email me at truckingtopicstoday@gmail.com. I'm going to pin a comment in the comments for you to let you know that you won. Although if you're listening to this, you already know. And then you'll just, when you email me, tell me if you want a Pilot Flying J or an Amazon card, and then I'll have you answer a couple of other questions just to make sure that's you. All right. So perfect. So I want to do some more of those. That was actually kind of fun, and I really got some neat comments. The channel is doing really good, and I appreciate all of you guys out there who are supporting the channel. You are elevating the channel. Just today, we hit 4,000 subscribers, and this is the quickest I've gained 1,000 subscribers since I've been doing the channel seriously for about the past 5 months or so. And Binks, what's up? What's up? You want out? Okay, he wants out. Hold on just a sec. he decided not to be on camera today. Anyway, so it's the quickest I've gained 1,000 subscribers. It must have been less than 2 weeks. And now we're headed towards 5,000 subscribers, and it's just because of folks like you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the thumbs up, the comments, and I think you'll see that I am really active in the comments. I'm sitting down watching TV last night. It was a really good movie, and so the phone went off 2 or 3 times, and I sit right there next to my wife on the couch, and she says, "You're responding to some more of your fans." Anyway, I don't know if that's what I want to call you guys, but we're all in this together, because I've learned some things from you guys too since I've been doing this. And that's my goal, and I think I mentioned it somewhere on the channel, perhaps in my introduction video if you haven't seen it. But I don't really consider myself a guru or an instructor, but I like passing along my experience, because I think I have a whole lot of experience to pass on. I've done a lot of things in my life. I don't know if you guys know or if I've said it, but I used to be a railroad engineer. And how many of you have driven trains for a living? Yeah, right. I'm probably the only one. I've driven Amtrak trains, and I've driven Southern Pacific and Union Pacific trains. And I just fell into that. I literally fell into that. I started out as an office worker with the railroad, for Christ's sake. And then 3 years later, I'm in the locomotive. So I just really have a lot of life experience. I obviously have a lot of experience in the trucking industry. And so it's not that I want to teach you guys, but I am just showing you my experiences. And, sometimes people will ask me for advice, and sometimes I'll give it. A lot of times I won't. But if we have a consultation, if you go to trekkingtopicsvip.com and we have a consultation, then, I can get into more of the personal aspects and maybe some more of why I would do something or maybe why I wouldn't. But you'll see that I'm not controversial. Okay, I don't want to be controversial. If I am wrong, then somebody point it out to me, and I've said that in a lot of my videos. Just point it out to me. Hey, Tony, you didn't get that right. Okay, hey, let me know what didn't I do right, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not perfect. But that being said, I appreciate that you guys like the information that I'm putting out there. I do appreciate it. And I'm going to, all that to say, I am going to have more drawings. And next week, next Monday's live, I'm going to have another drawing. What I want to know, there's not very many of you on right now, but what I'd like to know is what time is good for you? Now, Mondays are great for me, okay? But what time is good for you? So I think the first one I had was 3:30, and there was a lot of people on that one. Last week was like 6 o'clock, and this is Pacific time. Not so many people there. And today we're like right in between. Looks like, I've got 11 right now, but that's been up and down. On a Monday, what's a good time for you guys? If you would put that in the comments below, that would be great. And then next week, I don't know what the topic will be, but I will have a drawing, and I think it's going to be more than $25 this time. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed your guys' feedback. And let's look forward to that next week. We'll see what we're going to do for that. Let me see what I have for comments. Okay, I think I got you right, Rich. You said what was your reason for leaving and the pros and the cons. I don't know if you want to follow up with that. I think I maybe answered that for you. Yeah, Josh, I think it is 120 day. Yeah, yep. On those inspections. Landstar B13SR. Yes. Southern California to Texas and back. And they do. Now, I haven't seen their loads now for it's been over a year, right? But I like that route too. I like that I-10. Um, so I seem to remember having to go to Oklahoma sometimes, like take the northern I-40 and then shoot down sometimes. But yeah, there's plenty of work between Texas and Southern California. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of work there. Landstar loads, JJ Trucker, do Landstar loads pay more per mile on average versus a spot market? Okay, so I can't answer that in today's terms, JJ, because it's just I mean I would be talking without being educated on that, right? It's like I said, I haven't seen the board in over a year, but if I can think back, I can't remember, bud. I just can't remember. I seem to think that, I hit it at a bad time. That 2018, I think rates, 2017 was a fantastic time for trucking at Landstar, and into 2018, I think, but somewhere along there, I remember something tanking. So, I mean, if I were to take an educated guess without saying for sure, I'd say probably a spot market. But I remember something going on with Amazon rates right at about the time that I was leaving, and definitely before that. Questionless. All right, man. I like the questions, though, Rich. I like the questions. All right, man. I'm glad I can help you. J Horse 508. I appreciate, man. And if you guys have any, like if you have some areas where you're going to concentrate on, then just let me know in the comments. On my video that went up yesterday, that's doing quite well, by the way, but a lot of you guys really won't need to see it because it's about starting your trucking company and exactly what I paid to start it. Yeah, the video's kind of on fire right now. I did say at the beginning of the video that I missed a few things, or that I'm sure I was going to miss a few things, but they were going to be little things. And so a driver did point out some of the things I missed, but they were like, a checking account and the checks for that. And, there were little things like that. But I did reply in the comments and let him know. And you guys, if you are interested, exactly what I paid for those small items, and it wasn't more than $100. So, But yeah, I like putting out information like that. I'm putting out some information. I want to try to do it by the end of the week on IFTA. So there's a lot of confusion about IFTA from what I have seen popping up in my email and in the comments. So my plan, I don't know if you guys like this plan, but what it is to have one video explaining what IFTA is and how it works. And then the next video, I thought that I would take like my last report, my last quarterly report, that I would take that and go through it step by step and show you guys how things are tabulated and counted. Okay. And my goal for that really is, although you may know what IFTA is, I think a lot of you are probably paying a service to do it for you. And hey, if it's cheap enough, that's fine. But if you're paying a lot of money to have it done for you, then, you might want to take a look at that video and see how simple it is for you to do it yourself and save that money. And by the way, IFTA is due 15th of this month, right? For the last quarter, for the third quarter. I think you have to have that report in by the 15th of this month. If you need some help with it, you can go to truckingtopicsvip.com and you can... I think I either have IFTA service there, or you can sign up for a consultation, and we can knock that out in 15 minutes probably. But I'm going to do those two. I don't know what you guys think about that. That's going to fall under my business basics, trucking business basics series. So, yeah, so that's what I'm planning there. All right. What do we got here? Vlade. Oh, hey, buddy. I don't know if you were here, but you were part of the drawing today. But darn it, your name didn't come up. But maybe next week. Okay, we're having another drawing next week, man. The insurance for Amazon is good with other brokers too. Oh yes, of course. Yeah, if you have that insurance, so really the only difference is right is that you have that. You got the $1 million plus the $1 million or the 2 million aggregate. What do they call that? I can't remember, man. I'm sorry. I'm brain farting right now. And then your business liability is always good to have. Yeah, you need to have that. You don't need to run your business, but it's good to have. And then they require your trailer interchange, right? But yeah, whatever's on that COI, man, and it's more insurance than these other guys are looking for anyway. It's more insurance than Convoy requires, than Uber Freight requires, than C.H. Robinson requires. So it's always better to have more than not enough, right? And like I said, my cost for the extra insurance to run Amazon, in my case, because there's so many factors, you guys, okay, but in my case, then that's adding general liability in there. It only raised my rate about $350 or $375 per year. Okay, it was cheap. It was well worth it for me to go ahead and add it. But it depends on where you're located. It depends on how long have you been driving, what's the value of your equipment, insurance. Because people will ask me, well, how much was your insurance? And I'll tell them it was a little over $13,000 the first year, and I had to put down like $2,700 or something. But that's me, and that's me driving since 2005, which is not a long time, by the way, but it's a little bit of time. And it's me having a clean record, and it's me with a 2013 truck, and it's me registered in Utah. So many variables. Hey, David, 3 to 4 Pacific Standard Time's good for you. Okay, I really feel like that's a pretty good time, right around there, 3-4 o'clock. I do, because my goal is to get on and talk to you guys, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get on here and talk to dead air. I'd like to be able to interact with you guys. Okay, JJ Trucker, does Landstar provide? You know what? I think I could put these. Hold on a minute here. You guys, I'm still struggling here with this stuff, right? Look at that. See, I knew it did something. Does Landstar prove or show you the shipping invoice, or do you have to just trust their numbers? Trust their numbers. Yeah. They're I think that they claim the agents, and it's not really Landstar, it's like the agents, but they're Landstar agents, right? And these agents, by the way, they have their own business. Do you guys know that? I mean, like us BCOs, well, I'm not us anymore, but when I was a BCO, that was my own trucking business. Well, these agents you're talking to, that's their own broker business, to be able to broker loads. But a lot of those guys also had their own authority and also had their own trucks. I didn't start finding that out about towards the end of my time there at Landstar, but yes, but they have their own business too. So yeah, no, generally, yeah, no, they're not going to be available, but I think that would come up individually with each broker. I never asked for it, All right, J Horse Fireway, do a stream on truck stop etiquette. You know what I should do? I keep telling myself because there's been about so I stop at the if you guys are ever in Central California and you're near let's see, Fresno, but on the 5, there's a town called Patterson, California, and Patterson is where I generally fuel up because I run mail between Bakersfield, California, and Richmond, California, and so I always stop in Patterson to go in and do what I need to do in there and get some tea and get fuel if I need to. But the stuff I see there, and I tell myself all the time, I am so glad I'm not over the road again because I think I'd probably stab somebody in the eye, and it would probably be a driver. I tell you, it's all I can do to just get in and out of there every day because I stop there every day except for Mondays. But anyway, yeah, that would be cool. Truck stop etiquette. Okay, all right, man. We may have to go with that. Daniel, here is now. I want to talk to you about Daniel McCarthy, and I appreciate you joining us, Daniel. This guy right here, and by the way, right now in the description, his information is down below. His channel. His channel is Daniel McCarthy, Stronger by the Mile. Now, this guy was probably the first or second guy that I started watching in 2017 when I was thinking about applying for Landstar. And at the time, this poor guy, he bought a truck and, well, you don't know. The sucker blew up on him, okay? So he's out of a truck, and I'm thinking, oh, man, I don't know. I think he might be out of business, right? But, man, he picked himself up and got another truck. And anyway, he was a Landstar driver. I liked his demeanor. I learned a lot from his channel. So he's not with Landstar anymore. He did leave. He got his own authority. And Daniel, it was shortly after you got yours that I went ahead and got out and got mine. So you were a little bit of a catalyst in that sense too, because even though you had left, and I was sad you left because I wanted more Landstar stuff even when I was with him, because of course I followed you once I was signed on as well. I forgot where I was at. I was talking about Daniel. Anyway, so he left and got his own authority and bought a beautiful truck. And so he's kind of evolved in his truck driving life. But if you're interested in his Landstar videos, they're his older videos. And then he's kind of evolved with Charlie Brown and whatever, and he's evolved from that. But he's got a great channel, a great guy. So I would highly recommend that you subscribe to his channel as well, just for something different. So yeah, thanks, Daniel. I appreciate that, man. I don't know if you go by Daniel or Dan or Danny or whatever, but I really appreciate where you got me too, because actually I could say you were a mentor. Okay, so I appreciate all of that. So you all go check out his channel. Okay, link is here is his. Look, Daniel, I even made you a overlay there. So Daniel McCarthy, Stronger by the Mile. Go search for him there on YouTube, and you'll find him right away. There was one other guy I wanted to give a shout out to, but I don't like giving shout outs unless I get permission. So Daniel gave me permission, and I appreciate that. But the other guy hasn't got back yet. But when he does, I'm going to put his information down in the description too. And the only thing you need to know about him is you don't want to go to his channel unless you want straight up business. Okay. I mean, he doesn't hold your hand. So he's going to tell you how it is, and some people like him, some people don't. But I learned a lot from him as well. So I'm not going to mention his name right now, like I said, because he hasn't gotten back to me. But anyway, so yeah, pretty much those are my Landstar experiences. I see a couple of more questions. I'm going to get to those in a minute. Very positive. Like I said, if you guys, to me, what it came down to was the 35% and whether or not it was what I was getting from Landstar was worth it. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys about the fuel card. So in the end, what was keeping me at Landstar was the fuel card, because I didn't know if I was going to be able to go out and get 35, 55, 75 cents off anywhere else, at the big truck stops. And then I sat down and I started figuring it out. Okay, well, if I can only get 10 cents or something, what's going to be the difference in my pay? And, I think it was $500 a month. I think it came down to Landstar was saving me, I think, $500 a month in fuel, which didn't sound right at the time. And I kept doing my numbers, but I'm pretty sure that's what I thought. But as it turns out, when I left, I got a fuel card with RTS. And so when I left, I loved running between Salt Lake City and Southern California, Vegas, Southern California, and up to Bakersfield. And so I love that area to run in, that little triangle, Fresno or whatever. Man, they had a stop on that fuel card in Cedar City, Utah, and where I have some roots as well. And they were like, oh man, like 60 cents off or something. So that really helped a lot. So all that to say that in the end, the fuel card didn't make any difference at all with me leaving Landstar. Alrighty. All right. This is interesting, Vladi. Okay. 20,000 for 12 months and I have a clean record. Well, so what type of equipment do you have? All right. Is it a newer truck? Where's your business located? That's going to come into it. How long have you been driving? Whether you're an owner operator or a company driver, that's going to play a part in your insurance rate. Like I said, I was very pleased to get the $13,500 figure or whatever it was that I got. I was expecting in the 20s as myself. But like I said, with my experience since 2005, clean record, being registered in Utah, blah, 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 2013 truck, so not a brand new truck, so my insurance is going to be lower anyway. Mine was 13. Now, my other question is are you talking to an insurance agent for one company? Like, is he an agent or is he a broker? Because my advice to you is to call a broker, because a broker will have a variety of insurance companies that will fit your situation. Now, I will tell you that I used a broker in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the company is called InsurMart, INSURMART. And that's where now I can't remember the name of my insurance company that they finally hooked me up with. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it right now. But that's where I got my $13,000 insurance policy from. So, and it was a kind of a special deal too. She probably could have done a little bit better, but I had to have a special deal where I needed lease gap insurance, okay, because my truck was a lease. InsurMart, Las Vegas, Nevada. Always call them for a quote, I guess. I don't get anything to send you over there. You don't have to mention Trucking Topics. They don't even know my Trucking Topics Today channel anyway. So, but talk to a broker. Don't talk to an agent, okay? All right. David, what do you have here, buddy? You got quoted today, 26,000. with new authority. It's like, well, okay, so maybe so that the rates are high right now because starting last year, people just started getting their authority, and it's still going crazy right now. People are still applying like mad to get their numbers and to get their authority and get out there rolling. I believe it or not, it was just today I had an email from somebody who doesn't have any experience in the trucking industry and wants to, and you'll find comments like this too in some of my videos from people, and wants to hire a driver and get into the business. I think they're doing themselves a disservice, right? I mean, this industry is very unique. Is the money there to be made? Sure there is, but you have to know the ins and the outs. You just can't go get a truck and then, because that's a whole process. What truck, what motor, what transmission, what year, what about the DEF system? If you need one, do you need one? And then what? You're gonna go to C.H. Robinson and start pulling loads or whatever? I mean, yeah, you're gonna make money, but are you just gonna pay the bills and put food on your table? I mean, there's just so much to know that. But these are the people who are going out and getting authority. So, and I mean, that's okay, I guess. I'm not going to say no to someone who wants to better themselves or be an entrepreneur. I mean, other than this channel, I'm also a reseller. I have another YouTube channel called I changed it, Pallet Flippers. So you search for pallet flippers on YouTube, and that's my reselling channel. And so, I buy pallets and wholesale liquidation and so forth and sell it on various platforms. I didn't know a damn thing about it when I first got into it, but I learned. And can someone do that with trucking? Well, I guess I can watch YouTube videos and, other research and pay for consultations like people have paid me for to help them out and get started and ask questions. And I guess, if they do it right, they're going to make it. But I think they're going to spend a lot of money and frustration and heartache to get to that point if they don't have any experience. But if they have a good mentor, people who can help them, so that's why I don't bash them. Like, well, why do they want to get into trucking? They don't even have any damn experience. They're going to get out there and, are they going to be one of these people that are so hungry that they're going to be pulling, 95 cent a mile loads? I mean, I hope not. If, for everybody's sake, not just theirs. But that's why I do this channel, is to just talk about my experience, like I said earlier, and help people. Like I said, I don't consider myself a guru. There's a lot of great truck drivers out there on YouTube, okay, that have great information, and I'm subscribed to a lot of them. This is just my take, you guys. This is just real world, my take. I'm not gonna fluff anything up for you guys. And if I don't know the answer to something, I'm sure you've seen it in the comments or in any emails if you send them to me. I'm not gonna BS you. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. But David, that 26,000, man. Again, man. Like, let me see. Did you reply at all? Like, is that like where are you based out of? What's your truck? How long you been driving? Those are the three questions I have. Yeah. All right. So AD, you don't have to have a truck to apply for your DOT. Okay, you can go ahead and you can go ahead and do that first. The problem is that you're not going to get authority until your insurance has been posted with FMCSA. So the steps are apply for DOT, authority, you have about a month before it becomes active. And for it to become active, you need an insurance policy with the minimum requirements, which is a BPID right now of $750,000 in coverage, but you'll need to get $1 million. Okay, that's just what people are looking for now. So $1 million, but just know the FMCSA says 750,000. And you need to have a BOC3 on file. And if you don't know what these are, go to the video that I uploaded yesterday, and all of this stuff is explained for you. I tell you exactly how much I spent to start my trucking company and what I spent it on and what those items are. And it'll explain these. I think that'll help you quite a bit if you go in there and take a look at that video, okay? It was just uploaded yesterday, and it's on fire right now, really. Okay, so, but in order to get an insurance policy, you have to have a truck because you have to have a VIN number on the insurance policy. So basically, you apply for your DOT, you go get a truck, and then you have to bind insurance. Now, what this means is that you're going to be paying for insurance for a period of time before you start turning a wheel. Okay, and because you have to show the FMCSA that your insurance coverage is active, and it can only be active unless you've paid for it, either the down payment or whatever. So you might have 1 month of a truck payment and insurance before you even start turning a wheel. And that's if you turn a wheel on the day that your authority becomes active. And I believe, if someone wants to correct me, I believe it's 22 working days, not counting holidays, that it takes for the FMCSA to grant you authority, which with weekends and a holiday in there, maybe it's like a month, like it's right at 4 weeks, okay, from the day you apply. And that's, like I said, with your insurance uploaded to them and with your BOC3. So those are the steps, man. You apply, or you can get your truck first, whatever. How many months can you afford to make a truck payment without turning a wheel? You know, go ahead and apply for your DOT, $300. We do it for $399. That includes your fee. You can go to truckingtopicsvip.com to set that up. But if you want to do it yourself, it takes maybe 45 minutes, $300 right there. You have to pay it online, and then get your truck, you know, and then get your insurance. Your insurance has to be posted. I would suggest you post it about 2 weeks into your authority approval time. See, what happens is that you go onto this list or something. I know I sound ignorant right now, but it's some kind of a list where I guess other people can say, or the FMCSA says, okay, this company is applying for DOT authority, and do you have any comments or something? Something like that. I don't know. But, okay, so those are the steps. But go take a look at that video that I posted yesterday, man, because you're going to get a lot of value out of that, all right? Okay. Oh, very cool, dude. I will be there, and I'll tell you exactly when I'll be. Oh, I can't. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow's Tuesday. It depends on... Normally, I'm there on a Tuesday evening around 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, between 8 and 8:30 in the evening. I pull right into the fuel island, and sometimes I get fuel. Sometimes I wait till the next morning to get fuel there. But I'll pull in and I'll run in and do what I need to do, grab some tea. Yeah, man, I'd love to meet up with you there. Why don't you send me an email at truckingtopicstoday@gmail.com. Let me know what your hours are going to be there, okay? Yeah, I'd love to meet you. Daniel, yeah, dude, this is your first trip out. The motor went. I don't remember that it was your first trip, man. And So he says Landstar was a great place and kind of tricky. It was, but I'm gonna tell you, Landstar. So I had a breakdown, and it was a little bit pricey, but Landstar helped me with that breakdown because I was so new, and they don't have to do this. All right, but this is just the kind of company they are. They helped me with the breakdown. I didn't even ask. I just told them, hey, I had this issue. I'm going to be down for a week or two or whatever because of scheduling. And they offered me help. And of course, I accepted it, so I could have a little bit better cash flow. And yeah, I paid them back every week until it was paid off. And it wasn't that much, 3,000-4,000 or something. We're not talking thousands of dollars. But they add a little interest, and when I say a little, it is just a little. And yeah, so they helped me out. So they're there to help you. They're because if you're successful, then they're successful, right? But yeah, and hey, Daniel, I don't know if you heard it's not really a rant, but I was talking about the Landstar agents and developing agent relationships and how I kind of felt that didn't really play a big part with me. It seemed like the more I tried to build a relationship, the more I was kind of like shot down. And I wouldn't say that I was like pawing at him or trying to give him kickbacks or anything. I was just doing what I should be doing, being on time, calling up, hey, letting them know I was on time, whatever. Not every time, but, if I was calling up for another load, hey, remember that load? I was on time for you on that, and they had these things going on with it and whatever, and, just try to get them to remember me. Anyway, I don't... The agent relationship thing that Landstar talks about in terms of your business being successful didn't jive with me. It didn't seem to work very much. It's just that's all luck. You're just in the right place at the right time, and all of a sudden you're the agent's favorite driver. But with that said, I mean, they're not rude or anything. With that said, like I said, I did 225, I think, my first year, which is pretty respectable for a first year. Yeah. Here's Daniel back. Had a family issue and had to get out of the game, but I am planning a huge comeback. I would be glad to help anyone. Yes. I'm you know what, Daniel, I'm really glad to hear that because all of a sudden, man, you weren't there and everything, and it was like, oh man, what happened? What's going on here? And man, I was sorry to see Charlie Brown go. I freaking love that truck. Do you know I went to that dealership 2 weeks later, and it's right across the street from a truck stop, if I can recall. And I went to that dealership and I looked around at the stuff they had there on the lot, and it was pretty sweet. But man, I hated to see that truck go. I loved that Pete, man. Oh God. Anyway, yeah, dude, keep us up to date. You guys head over there. You won't do yourself a disservice with following Daniel with McCarthy and his Stronger by the Mile. He's got a great brand going over there. Okay. Hey, Rich. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about, right? That's what I'm talking about. And so the other day I was on a trucking channel, and I can't remember who it was. It's a guy who actually lives here in Bakersfield, I think, from what I was getting. And he's a pretty interesting guy. He has a live every Monday at noon, I think. And so I was listening to him, and he talks a pretty long time. And I thought, I really got to get some stuff going. I think this was last week. Yeah, last Monday. I didn't hear him today. And I found myself getting ready to click off the channel without liking his video. And I mean, I'm in the same game, right? And I thought, well, that's kind of rude. I mean, I enjoyed what he was saying. He's got good information. He doesn't seem like, he's some a-hole out there. So I went in there and gave him a like. But it doesn't cost anything, right? It supports the channel. It really does help with the algorithm, and Daniel knows this. I mean, it helps us help you guys better. It makes us motivated to get information out to you guys. It helps me with, for instance, the little bit of a giveaway I had today. It's small, but we're just starting, right? It was my first giveaway. That was for last week that I gave away today. I don't have one for this week, but I'm going to have a giveaway for next week. So all the love helps. The subscribers, the comments, the thumbs up, it all helps. I appreciate that, man. AD, yes, sir. All right. David, I'm in California, 2016 680. Be much better for me to be out of Nevada. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that is why, although I live in California, that's why I did not base my business out of California, because I mentioned on my video that I dropped yesterday on starting my own trucking company that it was just too expensive here in California. For me to have an LLC here in California, I have to basically pay a ransom of $800 a year. A year. That's just not a one-time fee. Every year I owe $800 to the state of California for the privilege of having a California LLC. Well, hell no. Okay, so I was lucky enough to have a second residence in Utah. So that's why I based myself out of Utah. And, I already had my residence there. I was getting mail there. And then I did change my CDL so that everything would be above board. I did change my CDL to Utah as well, so that everything was above board. And hey, to be an LLC in Utah, it's $70 one time. Okay. So yes, my insurance was going to be significantly higher in California. Now, I didn't get, the only quote I got was Progressive, and we all know that frickin' Progressive, I mean, you don't get Progressive unless that's your last choice, right? Some people tell me that Progressive is like the best in some areas. I don't know. I haven't seen that. But yeah, I was 21,000. I was 21 or 22,000 for the same insurance in California. So see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, if you can move your business to another state if you can. For me, it was lucky. I already had the residence. So yep, I see that. Daniel says Progressive quoted me 28,000 the first year, way too high. That's for Florida? Oh, well, okay. So I was going to do OIDA, but what was the issue? It was with the truck. Because of the lease on the truck or something, OIDA didn't have the right coverage for me, but I had thought about them. I checked in with them. But $28K for Florida. But you know what, Daniel? They have a huge problem over there with stolen trailers, right? Yeah, but that's even, whoo, man, that's huge. Hey, okay. Well, you mentioned his name, buddy. All right, so you went ahead and mentioned it, so I'm gonna go ahead and mention it. So Calvin Leake is my other go-to. All right. And Daniel, we'll be in touch with this. I have your email now. Calvin Leake. I'm just going to go ahead and put his information in the description when I finish up now, since Daniel said something. Calvin, let me tell you something about Calvin. Okay, so he's still with Landstar, and I believe he has a fleet with Landstar. Okay. You don't go to Calvin's channel for a lot of fluff. Okay, that's how I like to say it. He just tells it like it is, and his language is colorful at times, but he's got great information. I can't even explain it, but you guys need to go there. Okay, Calvin, Leake, Leake. How do you? Let me see. How did? I think it's Leak. It's not. It's not Leak. It's Leake or something like that. Just look for Calvin. He'll come up. A truck driver, Landstar, and he's fantastic. He's the one guy that didn't respond to me today. Out of the two, I had Daniel. He got back with me, but Calvin didn't. I really wanted to plug him, but. All right, so it's your fault, Daniel. All right, it's your fault that we're mentioning his name if he doesn't like it. I'm gonna put it on you. I'm gonna save these. I'm gonna save this chat stream. And yes, he is. I wanted to meet him, and he has my respect too. Believe me, I wanted to meet him, and I actually had a chance to message him about a year and a half ago. And I said, man, I just love your channel. I love how real you are and that you're not about bullshit, you know. And I said, I need to meet you. And he was up for it. You know, we were going to try to meet in Southern California, and then my load got canceled or something. And so I never got to meet the guy. But I tell you what, I don't know if he does collaborations or not, but he would be another good one for me to get on the channel, or for me to get on his even, you know. Yeah, definitely Daniel. He's a great guy. Look, guys, I have kept you for a long time. I would love a thumbs up. That would be fantastic. Okay, this, I guarantee you, is not what it looks like. All right, this is what you call diluted Coke Zero sugar. That will change in a few minutes, but right now it's just diluted Coke or zero sugar. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for hanging out, guys. Please comment below. Let me know what other items you'd like me to talk on. Like I said, I'm working on some 2 IFTA videos that I'm going to put out for newer drivers. And if you just want more information, because I know a lot of you are paying for that service to be done, and it's really simple for you to do it by yourself. I don't care what state you're in. Okay. But also you can go to truckingtopicsvip.com, and there we have some consultation services laid out for you. I had 3 consultations this past week, and they were very, very productive. And I'll have some comments from those people for you. And then, of course, we have a membership. We have 2 levels of membership, but I'm not going to explain that right now. You guys can go over there and take a look at that. But that's a way of supporting the channel, and I do appreciate that. We'll be back next Monday, looking at about 3 o'clock. You guys will get a heads up. And Daniel, I appreciate you coming in. Hold on, I got you covered up there, buddy. I haven't seen that channel. I'll check it out. Daniel. Anyway, I appreciate you coming on, Daniel, and allowing me to use your name and give you a shout out. Well deserved. And yeah, we'll talk. Thank you for all you do out there. And so next Monday we'll have a giveaway. I'm not sure what that is yet. It's going to be more than the $25 gift certificate I gave away today. And then not sure what the topic will be, but it's great hanging out with you guys. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate the love. Like I said, we just passed 4,000 subscribers today, and we are almost in hyper growth right now. So keep your questions coming. You're going to see that I'm very active in the comment section. So I appreciate you guys. Okay. Listen, be safe out there. Trucks are going to start moving a lot now with Q4 merchandise. And we will talk to you next week. I'll have a couple of other videos out. If you need to contact me, truckingtopicstoday@gmail.com. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Please be safe out there, you guys.